As we move forward here now, folks, Nancy Pelosi's January 6th witch hunt committee is at it again. Lots more subpoenas they're offering up again. They're trying to destroy executive privilege as long as it takes out Trump. And now they're issuing that fresh batch of subpoenas to former Trump officials. One of them joins me next. The never-ending Trump witch hunt drags on. A federal judge has rejected President Trump's request to block the National Archives from turning over documents to Pelosi's House Select Committee investigating the January 6th security breach. Trump lawyers have already filed an appeal, calling the committee's request, quote, an illegal fishing expedition that's, quote, untethered from any legitimate legislative purpose and an affront to executive privilege. Just look at the committee. It is filled with hardcore leftists and so-called Republicans that despise President Trump. The sole goal of this committee is to take down President Trump so he can never run again. And to do it, they are targeting Trump administration allies and confidants, sending out 10 more subpoenas to people like former Trump administration press secretary Kayleigh McEnany. Well, joining me now is one of the people subpoenaed by Pelosi's Select Committee. There's a whole slew of them, much more than that 10. I'm talking about former senior advisor to President Trump and CEO of Getter, Jason Miller. Jason, good to see you.
Grant, good to be with you. And to follow up on your last segment, my pronoun is Brandon.
Well, let's go Brandon, that's for sure. And let's go Brandon when it comes to this select committee, Jason Miller. I think they're making a big mistake. Guys like you, Kayleigh McEnany, Kash Patel, Michael Flynn, get your popcorn. They're not going to know what they're up against if you get in front of this committee and start testifying. They're going to get eaten alive.
Yeah, and I think this is pretty obvious to everyone. This is just a political witch hunt continuing into, what are we, year 5 or year 6 of the Trump witch hunts of whether it be the president himself or anybody around him. And I think it's also curious that the timing of the committee with these most recent subpoenas is at the exact same time that Joe Biden's poll numbers are imploding and President Trump is skyrocketing ahead of Biden in survey after survey. I don't think the two things are unrelated. I also say that frequently subpoenas follow news cycles. And what we saw, unfortunately, last week was Bob Costa, who's a pencil neck little geek that writes for the Washington Post, put out a fake news book along with Bob Woodward. And just to let people know, we blackballed Bob Costa. We wouldn't let him talk to President Trump because he lies and makes things up. And so we went and wrote a book and tried to make it sound like people are ringleaders and nonsense like that. Look, here's the reality. President Trump didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. And if these folks want to go and try to attack us and make political hay out of it, bring it.
You know, here's the other reality, though. It is a headache. It's got to be a headache for you and the others. And it's financially draining. I imagine, Jason, you got to go hire an attorney for this. That's out of your cost now. Is that true? And is that part of their game here, just to make everybody hurt?
Well, it is, and it's all about 2024. And what they want to try to do is to try to scare Trump loyalists like myself from wanting to work with him or for wanting to be around him. Well, here's the thing. These guys got to remember, after going through the Russia hoax, Mueller nonsense, impeachment 1, impeachment 2, at this point, if you're on President Trump's team and your loyal soldier is part of the team, you're not going to get rattled by this stuff. You're going to look and see exactly what it is. Here's the good thing, Grant, is the American public sees it for what it is, which is a purely partisan act. And I just have one question to put forward to you. If the FBI and the DOJ have interviewed hundreds of people, and they filed, of course, charges against people who are bad actors on January 6th, and they never came and talked to whether it be Meadows or Kash Patel or Dan Scavino or myself, because we had nothing at all to do with anything on January 6th. Why do, whether it be Nadler, Cheney, or Kinzinger, any of these folks, why are they going to magically become Inspector Clouseau or Perry Mason and get to the bottom of something that the FBI or the DOJ didn't? The reality? Because there's nothing there, because it's all political witch hunt.
Yeah, it absolutely is. You bring up January 6th. What a political persecution of most of these people in there. You know, the guy with the horns and the beaver pelt, the QAnon shaman, I think he dubbed himself. It didn't really look like he did anything. He's been in solitary, Jason Miller, for, I don't know, 300 days or something like that. And 300 days. And they're offering him 51 months in prison, Jason, real quick. 51 months.
No, that's what this is about. This is about trying to ruin lives and trying to settle scores simply because they're bitter that they can't make President Trump go away. And the sad thing is that these people really should look in the mirror and question themselves and say, is this really worth it? Is it really worth it to try to ruin people's lives, to try to score political points? But guess what? It's not going to help them in 2022 in the midterms when the Democrats are in for a drubbing, and it won't help them in 2024 when President Trump comes back and gets reelected again.
Yeah. In many ways, these people that are stuck in there are martyrs because it is damaging the Democrat Party. It's damaging Joe Biden as it is. But boy, I feel sorry for them. Jason Miller, thank you so much. We'll get you back again on real soon.
Thank you, sir.